You cannot come to a district like Kannauj and not delve into its regal allure. We all know about its rich cultural heritage and the significance it has held in a state like Uttar Pradesh. And today I'm in the presence of royalty itself, Mr. Singh, the king of Tirwa, a small town in Kannauj. He is also known fondly as Raja Sahib. So Mr. Singh, why don't you start, with telling me about the history of this palace where we're sitting right now and a little bit about yourself.
Well, first I'll tell you about the palace. First we used to all stay in the fort, which was a little away from here. And this palace was built in 1929. Mainly this was a sort of a guest house. It has about 8 bedrooms, a drawing, dining, billiard room. This was a place for entertainment, where all the parties used to be held, where the governor's garden parties used to be held. We had these tennis courts, a little swimming pool. So, well, it was built in 1929.
What is architecture?
Architecture is again mixed. The little bit of, you won't find the Mughal influence here in this palace. More of a British kind of a setup, built more like a hotel, like a modern hotel.
Okay. So how has royalty evolved in Uttar Pradesh?
See, we've been here since 1109 in Kannauj. And my ancestors during the reign of Aurangzeb, he was given the title of Raja. And with a mansab of 3,000. Mansab used to be where you could a 3,000 army was stationed here.
In Tirwa?
Yes, for which he was the sole ruler or in charge, and where required by the Mughals, the army had to move.
So Tirwa has held some historical significance in that sense?
Yes, obviously, because you see, at one time Kannauj was the capital of the country during the time of Jayachand. This was the capital, so it has a lot of heritage and culture and what have you.
Are there any historical figures here that, someone would recognize or must have read about?
Well, the recent would be my grandfather at the most. That's him. He has fought in the First World War and the Second World War. He enlisted as a lieutenant, and after the 1919, when the First War, he was only 19 years old when he enlisted. And in 1919, when the First World War finished, he sort of left the army. He took an early retirement and left the army to look after the state. And again, when the Second World War came, he enlisted again as a major. And after the war, he left again. And during the time of the First and the Second World Wars, Tirwa, whatever you see today, it was entirely his doing. The hospitals here, the palaces, or everything was his doing. We have an inter-college, a huge place, which was built in 1923. Before the notification for inter-college came in 1925 in UP, but it was already there in 1923.